and raring to go with some drivers.
Hello, yeah, down on the grid here, ready for the first final of the season. And it's a very busy grid down here, very colourful grid as well. We've got on pole position Mads Thompson, who from Denmark is looking really strong this weekend. Mads, well done. You've had a super weekend, a great return to European challenge racing for you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I don't really know what to say. The car are great, the engine are very great as well. I think I need to do my best and see what will bring me.
We've been having a lot of messages from back home in Denmark on Twitter, wishing you all the best of luck.
Well, thank you very much, guys. I can speak Danish, so tak Knejder. Det er sgu lækkert. Jeg vil gøre mit bedste, og jeg holder kablet stramt. Thank you very much.
Good luck, Mads. Thanks for your time. Thanks for speaking to us. And alongside Mads, it's going to be Ben Cooper. These two were third and fourth going into the last corner. Ben, good to see you here. Brand new set of shiny slicks on for you. How's the grip been today? It looks very similar conditions to yesterday. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can hear, but the motocross is on the other side, and when that starts, just like yesterday, the dust comes over onto the track, so the grip's not so fantastic. We've been working to try and sort that out, but now everyone's spent their money and got new tyres on, so hopefully we'll have the grip with that.
You and Mads were third and fourth with a quarter to go, so this is a bit of a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, I was hanging on in the pre-final. I think I let Mads through about 3 or 4 laps to the end because I knew he was quicker and I didn't want to lose time fighting with him. So, yeah, we got a bit lucky with the accident with Paolo and Jordan, and sometimes you need that bit of luck.
Just tell us about this run down to the first corner. It's quite a short run once you get to the start line. It's quite a wide entry, but it really tightens up, and it's difficult on the outside line. What's your plan?
Yeah, I don't know, because DD2 is slightly different to the other classes. I mean, we've got the 2 gears and we put it in neutral to coming up to the line, so it all depends on how the jump is with the start, and if we get a good jump, maybe I can get in front of Mads or slot in behind. It all depends on who gets a good hang and we'll see what happens. If I get hung out to the outside, then it might be a fight on the first lap, I guess.
You had a good clean race with Mads in the first race, so it was clean and close, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, up the front, well, certainly around me these last couple of days, the race has been quite nice and tidy, so I'm not doing anything stupid. I'm here for the whole year and I need to just pick up points.
I'll let you get on. Good luck, Ben. Thanks for your time. Thanks for speaking to us. Let's see if we can get a little quick word with Sean Babington. Sean, time for a quick word? Is that okay? Brilliant. Sean, you did quite well to be here, my man. 18th on the grid to third. That was great.
Yeah, really good. I just kept overtaking as much as I could, as quick as I can. I knew the laps were coming down, and a little incident in the last lap found myself in third, so it was really good. Looking forward to the final. So.
Yeah, it was something to do with an engine mount, wasn't it? That the reason that you failed to finish the third heat, which is why you were back there in the first place.
Yeah, the engine mount bolt snapped, and the front of the engine was going up and down, so we DNF'd that one. So, but it's all right. We're up here for the final, so should be good.
Makes a change not being on pole this year, doesn't it? But third's good, a good spot to be in, yeah, on that inside line.
Yeah, definitely a nice spot. Looking confident for the start. So, see how it goes.
I'll let you go, Sean. Good luck. Good luck to you. He's having a really good race. Just to say that there was that incident between Jordan Lennox-Lamb and Paolo De Conto into the last corner when they were first and second. Paolo has been excluded, so we won't be seeing Paolo in the race. So that's the first 2 rows of the grid. We've got Jonathan Tanon here, who's joining DD2. Jonathan, a few words. You had a really busy race in the pre-final, up and down the top 10.
Yeah, all the weekend was difficult because the qualification, I have some problem about the engine. So the first engine is out. I need to drive all the weekend with the second one and manage the carburation. We have tried to make the best for the final, and about the pre-final, it was very hot. It's my first race Rotax DD2, so I feel different from CKFA because normally in pre-final you save the tires, now we have new tires, so that's not a problem. So the drive need to be a little bit more soft for the pre-final. And let's see the final. Let's see the start because maybe a big crash. And after, who is the best, the first one win the race, I hope.
You enjoy the DD2 kart. Is it good to drive?
Yeah, it's a very good kart. It's a very good race. And also I want to thank everybody here for the organization. I feel it's a very good race. And I see some data like the pass to take the tires, also to go to the briefing with the pass. It's very good organization. So I want to thank everybody and also every marshal because the race is also with the marshal.
Yeah, well said. Good luck to you. Thanks for entertaining us so far. So it's Nicola Tion, the 3 times world champion who's joining us here on the grid. You can see most of the drivers are now sort of stood by the carts, focused and ready to go. That's the first 5 on the grid. Just take a little step back, 1 or 2, a bit further down. Oh, Brian Earden's here. Brian, a few words. You're looking really good this weekend.
Yeah, it's really good. The car performs really well, and the engines are really good. And yeah, start of the week was really heavy for me because this is just my 3rd race in DD2 class. And yeah, I really hope to perform here.
And it might be a few spots of rain in the air. How much rain does it take before you have to start worrying with the slick tyres?
I don't know. We will see it in a race. So.
You enjoying this circuit though? The first corner is always difficult though, isn't it, at the start of the race?
Yeah, in the first corner it's really difficult, but in the qualifying series it was really good, and every time we were in the right place, and yeah, so we went to an 8th place in final.
Good luck for the race. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian Earden, who's going very well here this weekend, and he's going to be on the 8th spot on the grid, so we'll see how he gets on. I want to have a word, if I can, as well, with Barry Pullinger, who, don't forget, started right at the back. He came from the second chance heat. Had a bit of a miserable day yesterday. Here he is, Barry. Terrible day yesterday. Good day so far today, though.
Yeah, it's been better today. Hopefully we can work our way up into the top 10 and try and get some half-decent points. So that's the plan.
You did well in the pre-finals to get this far up.
Yeah, it was good in the pre-final. We had fairly good speed, so hopefully we'll push on again.
You got involved in a tangle in one of the races. Was it a battery going on one of the others that put you out as well?
Yeah, I got hit off in 2 races, and then the battery died in the other. So it's been a bit of a bad day yesterday, but make it better today, hopefully.
What do you boys back in the middle of the grid do into the first turn? Do you just try and survive it, or is this an opportunity to gain a few places?
Yeah, sometimes you can. If there's an incident ahead, you try and dodge it and gain a few, or yeah, try and find a bit of space and move forward.
Keep an eye on that rain as well. It's starting to try, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. It wouldn't be a bad thing for me, but I think a bit of rain.
All right, Barry, well done for the pre-final. Good luck for the final. Thanks for your time. And I just want to see if Jordan Lennox-Lamb might have a quick word as well. Jordan, chance for a quick word? Thank you. Jordan shouldn't be back here at all. She should be at the front. I'm guessing you're not best pleased with how it turned out in the pre-final.
No, it was the pre-final. You know, there's a final to make, so it was the opportunity to wait. But it happens. It's racing.
Are you enjoying the DD2 apart from that incident?
Yeah, really enjoy it. Also, I did a race last year and enjoyed it a lot. We'll see how the final goes now with this rain.
You in for the year? Is it planned to do the whole season?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
Okay, good luck. Thanks for your time, Jordan Lennox-Lamb there. See how he gets on from bang in the middle of the grid. Well, I'll hand back to you now, Matt, in the commentary box. And I can tell you that here, down on the track, that rain from a few spots is now starting to develop into a little shower. So it might pass. There are mixed clouds above us, but for the time being, everybody here on slicks. Most of the drivers have saved a set of brand new slicks as well, so most of them would be wanting really in the first couple of laps to try and scrub the tyres in and scrub them in for a couple of laps of the formation. They're not going to get the chance to do that because of the rain coming down. Back to you, Matt, in the commentary box.
Thanks very much, Chris. Yep, so great to hear from the drivers down on the grid. And for the first time today, as you've been saying, it looks like rain is starting to fall here at the Genk circuit. So this could put another curveball in the mix for this DD2 final. The cars are set, ready to go. And before too much longer, it will be a race to get underway. So the final preparations being made down below. The drivers just sitting around the carts, making sure everything's as chilled out as possible. Some on the rear wheel was just like, yeah, we're ready to go. Let's get this 16-lapper underway. So they're all there. Everyone, I think, that should be there. The 32 that's set to start this one are all up for some good points this weekend, and they made it to the final. The main part of the weekend, you always need to get through to the final part, and this is exactly what these 32 drivers have done. If you're out there on track or if you're watching around the world on RGM MC TV, it's very nice to have your company as always. Get your good luck wishes into to us for any of the drivers out there in the finals today, you're more than welcome. Let us know what's happening, who you want to give a shout out to, and we'll give you a mention right here today at the circuit. You can do so on Twitter at RGMMC. You can also watch all the action at every European round as well. If you go to Rotax Max Euro Challenge, all the details can be found on there. So we've got a very busy afternoon to come. 3 finals in total, and the grid for this one is going to line up as follows. It sees on pole position kart 659. It's going to be Mads Thompson from the front row. Best possible place to start, possibly, but the outside run down towards turn number 1 has also been pretty good today as well. That's where number 601, Ben Cooper, starts. So that's row number 1. Row 2 is then... Sorry, row 2 is then 602, which is Sean Babington. He's carved his way through the field and the course of the weekend to get himself on the inside of row 2. Damien VM is next up in kart 660 in 4th place. 5th place goes the way of Jonathan Thanon, kart 664, just talking to Chris down on the grid there. Seems very chilled out and ready to go. Felipe Calazes is next up in kart 661 in 6th place. 7th place is the first of the Backmans, Andreas Backman in kart 611. Alongside on row number 4 is going to be that of Brian Earden, kart 641. Back to row 5 and 9th place for number 658, Daniel Formal, and 638 is next up Michael Christensen, who did a good run in the previous pre-final as well. Row 6 is where we see Kevin Ludy in kart 608. He's the man who starts in 9th place on the grid alongside Geordie Van Morsel, who's been in the wars across a couple of the heats this weekend. He's in kart 662. Row 7 is headed by that of Jordan Lennox-Lamb, another man who had trouble in the pre-final with contact from Paolo De Conto. He'll start there on the inside. Outside in 14th place, Harold Kaklis in kart 621. Row 8 is then Matthias de Tiege in kart 609. Outside in 16th place is Josh Collins in kart 620. We then see on row number 9, Henry Easthope in kart 627, and Barry Pullinger, the man who was in the second chance heat, he gets through to the final in kart 606. Row 10 in 19th place, Anthony Abbas in kart 626. Then we see Marcel Sherma in kart 619 in 20th place. Row 11 is headed by Oriel Damo Caballaro, kart 669, and Luca Kamali is next up in 617. Row 12, 23rd place for Miko Laiho, 603. Really hasn't performed to the best of his ability so far this weekend, so really do look out for that young Finnish racer coming through the field. Let's see what he can do in this final. And outside, 24th place for Martin Steinertz in kart 645. Row 13 is Maxi Fleischmann, 616. Alongside him is going to be Maxim Grivalli in kart 643. 27th place for Julian Renadon, kart 653, and kart 639 alongside Henrique Baptista from Portugal. Then we move back to row 15. Sahan Al-Rahawi is in kart 623, and Zendaru, with a few problems earlier on, has been put towards the rear. 30th place he'll be starting. A lot of work to do for the young lad. Next up on row 16 is going to be Dario Santori in kart 650, and then we see Frank Kanskar next up as well in the mix. A few have been missed off our starting grid, one of those being Paolo De Conto. Apparently he's going to be starting in 32nd place, so he is down there somewhere. Oh, he's been excluded, so he won't be a starter. So our grid is correct as we see it. So 2 are missing from the grid. So Frank Kanskar towards the back, and another one possibly missing from the grid looks to be that of Markkanen as well. So those are the 2 we're down. We should have 32 set to start this one. And as you're out there on the grid, Chris, it started to give a few drops of rain.
Yeah, a little few spits of rain for a couple of minutes, and now it is light rain out there. It's fairly constant. It's very, very light. But they're most of them there on absolutely brand spanking new slicks, not even scrubbed in. We spoke to Mads Thompson there, who had a few words in English and a few words in Danish for us, the man on pole. And again, if you can hear Mads, from Philip, back home in Denmark, from Philip Wirtz. Let's go, Mads Thompson. Full throttle all the way, he says. So lots of support. Hello to everybody there in Denmark. And he's done incredibly well so far. This is going to be a really difficult race with that bit of rain coming down. So there you can see the grid as it stands, and behind that then we can see the drivers still just waiting before they get in the cars. That's Ben Cooper there, you can see, just in a few stretches. Incredibly laid back, but he's been here a million times before, hasn't he, and seen these situations. But they're all stuck with the slick tyres now, so nobody's panicking to put the wets on. And it is going to be treacherous if it stays like this for a couple of laps, but it might pass this. There's certainly no surface water there at the moment. There in the foreground you can see Damien VM, number 660, who's going to be on the front row of the grid as well. And the blue suit just behind him there, that's Jonathan Tennant, who we heard from on the grid, 3 times world champion coming into DD2. And
He's just having a chat with his engineers, waiting to the last second to get into the karts. 661 there to the right of the screen is Philippos Skalesis, who is there in the Greek colours, blue and white, his race suit. And he is arms folded, ready to go in 6th position on the grid. Just behind him, you heard from Brian Earden, there he is, that's Brian with the 641 kart, just putting his right foot on the right rear tyre, the grey suit. And Brian going incredibly well here this weekend. And on the other side there, Andreas Bachmann over to the left. He's going to be alongside Brian Earden on the 4th row of the grid. There he's in the Tony kart colours, the green and white suit to the left of the picture, kart 611, with the blue, red and white helmets. And Andreas Bachmann getting himself onto the podium, 3rd place in the Winter Cup at Campios in February. A really good start to the season for him. So we shall see if he can move forward. He certainly made good progress in the pre-final to get up to 7th place, Andreas. He seems to have had a good day today. Yesterday wasn't quite so good, but he seems to be on the pace today and able to move forward. There you can see climbing into his kart, Philippos Skalesis has gone very well this weekend. He's sort of almost gone a bit under the radar this weekend, hasn't he, Matt? He just keeps plugging away and being there or thereabouts and avoiding any trouble, but also being very quick at the same time, and it's rewarded him with 6th on the grid.
Yeah, it's not a name we've kind of talked about too much, but yeah, he finds himself up there in a good place and ready to do battle as much as possible. And we've got more of the drivers behind as well. I think the rain continues to fall outside, so it's going to be, as you said, very tricky. And the way it's going to work with many drivers, they'd rather have it dry or fully wet. These greasy conditions always play a big part, and they do shake up the races. So some are going to enjoy it, some are not going to enjoy it so much with the slick tyres they've got on, but it's going to give us, I'm sure, some superb racing to commentate on.
I always used to enjoy driving a kart on slick tyres in these slippy conditions. It's a massive challenge of just dancing the thing on the edge of a Disham, because it wants to spin off, it wants to go straight on all the time. The brakes want to lock up, the tyres want to skid, and you're constantly fighting against it. But there's a real art to driving these karts with all their power and not much weight, and keeping them on the road with no grip, basically. So what will happen, they'll go down into, say, the first turn, and whereas you would normally just turn the wheel just as you're turning into the corner, they're going to have to turn the steering wheels in early and hold it on lock for a second or so. And eventually the tyres will just about give them enough grip, but they'll turn the wheel and the kart will just continue to go straight on for a second or so before hopefully eventually it slows down enough to turn in. They're going to have to brake that little bit earlier, that little bit more progressively as well. If you jab the brakes on, you're going to lock them up. You have to smooth on the gears. And also it's coming out of the corners as well. You're going to have to be a little bit more progressive again with the throttle rather than lighting the rear wheels up and potentially spinning, or just as bad, wheel spinning and not getting any traction out of the corners. And it all sounds very good and impressive, but the kart's not really going anywhere. So it's all about trying to feed the power in, trying to feed the brakes in, and just thinking ahead as well with everything and not panicking as well. We've all had the moments, haven't we, on a wet road where you aquaplane and your reaction is you want to react against it, but sometimes you just sit still, keep calm, and eventually it'll grip. But these guys will know how to handle it. There they are then, the full grid. Well, full -1 with Paolo Di Conto missing from the grid, having had that exclusion, I'm afraid, after a great day yesterday. But when he had a go to get past Jordan Lennox-Lamb with 2 corners to go, when they were both first and second, and a comfortable first and second, and he's been excluded as a result of that. And of course, Jordan Lennox-Lamb, who led that really the entire pre-final, he's going to be now 13th on the grid. I'm sure he was most annoyed about that, but he's gathered his thoughts and he's now focused on the job ahead, Matt.
Yep, so we'll see what they can produce in this race. One a little bit slow towards the back to get away. Frank Kantzkart, he now gets the kart fired into life. Kart 604, and a spin already.
Who's that? Oh dear, it's Sean Babington having a spin. And that just shows, Matt, how slippy it is. Oddly enough, at Campios, he had a perfect weekend. He won all the heats, he got pole position, and he actually had a spin at the final there on the outlap. It was dry then, but he recovered it and he got back on pole and he won the race. Somebody else that's had a spin at the back of the field, I think, is 662. It's hard to tell from this distance. Might be 626. I'll have a look. No, it's not Anthony Abbas. I'll have a look when they come back around. But somebody else having a spin there up at turn 4. Yes, I think it was Jordi van Moorsel. That's 662. That's his colour scheme. So it was Jordi van Moorsel also having a spin, Matt.
So it might be an omen for Sean Babington to spin on the formation lap and then go and win the race. You never know, do you? But let's see how he gets on. Spoke very briefly to Mads Thompson after that pre-final win. He was happy with it. He said the chassis is handling very well. He's happy with how the cart's going. He just said the driver's the one to watch out for because he's not too confident on what he can do. I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine from the head of the field. Mads Thompson there after the pre-final as well. Sean Babington looked very hot and sweaty. He was working very hard, of course. I know he was carving through the field, but out of the top 3 or 4, he really had been working hard. So a little bit further up the field in this one, so he's got less work to do, and we'll see where he can get amongst the likes of Ben Cooper and Damien VM.
Who's your money on for this one then, Matt? It's hard to call, I know, but if you had to stick your neck out, who would you go for?
Well, I think it's going on the form, as you said, with the Winter Cup. Sean Babington looks outstanding, not just there, also this weekend through the heats. He's progressed very well. Pre-final, he's done well. So I think you can't really bet against him. Sean Babington, if everything goes right, I think my money's going to be there.
Okay, my head says Ben Cooper, but I'm going to go for an outside bet, and I'm going to go for Jordan Lennox-Lamb because he's been extremely quick leading up to all of this, and he's going to be the one. He's chasing. He's going forwards. He's not got nothing to lose, but he's got less to lose than the guys at the front. So he's going to be on the attack. So I'll have a go at him. But you know, what do we know? We'll find out, I suppose. It's going to be. I mean, it's hard to tell because there'll be a dozen drivers out there that could win this race. So we're really looking forward to it. It looks like they're going to give them an extra formation lap as well. So yep, they're going to give them one extra lap just to get used to the conditions. It does look, Matt, as though I think it might have stopped the rain there. So it's still going to be a bit treacherous, but it's not going to be as bad as it could have been. Yeah, looking out the window, it does look like it has stopped for the time being. There was no kind of sign of this on the radar on the phone earlier this afternoon, so it might just be a passing shower. There's been a lot of cloud about today, so it was possible to get a light sprinkling, but nothing too heavy. It won't put the drivers off that much. I think by the time they get into the race and start to find the grip, they'll know where they are, so it shouldn't cause too much havoc now. But as we've seen on the formation lap, though, if they are pushing that little bit too hard, it may cause an upset, but I think they'll be fine out there. I see Jess Batman just underneath race control, just making her way to the grandstand. She'll be in the seniors later. She's come to watch her brother Andres see how he gets on. And Campios at the Winter Cup. They were both on the podium in their respective classes. And I mean, this is only my second year with the championship, but everybody I spoke to that's been with it forever couldn't remember another time when a brother and sister had both been on the podium. So we thought it was a historic first. So here they come then, Matt, ready for the start of the race. Mads Thompson on the pole position alongside Ben Cooper in kart 601. The Birrell red, grey and white race suit for Mads Thompson. The yellow helmet, more of an orangey white helmet for Ben Cooper alongside him. The green and white colours of Tony Kart and Strawberry Racing for Sean Babington on the inside of row 2. And with the black race suit and the orange helmet, and you've got Damien VM. We'll start on the outside of road 2. It's going to be a 16-lap race, but it's not going to start yet. They're being sent round again. They're a bit too spread out there. So yellow flags are waved. The lights don't change, and they'll have one more lap round. And, well, I suppose that's good news in a way for them because there's another lap to mop up any surface water. And I think it's more or less going to be dry, isn't it? The trouble is for these drivers, they're not going to know until they get to the first corner exactly how much grip there is. But what they will be able to figure out really is the rest of the lap here, because you can see they're keeping the pace up. They're doing that deliberately so that they can get a feel for how much grip is out there. Yeah, that's a good thing, because they went down towards turn 1 with the false start. They were still at racing speed, so they got a first indication of what the track is actually like at that speed, so that will help them out a little bit more. They haven't been that well bunched so far at the DD2s. Juniors have been very good bunched up in most of their races so far this weekend, but again, they're being slowed down as I head, as you can see, down towards turn number 9. They'll get into formation. There are a few on that first restart, on the first start, sorry, coming through a little bit late. One of those being Jordi van Moorsel, trying to find his way through the field. So I don't know if he had a quick spin, but he managed to get back into grid. And I think, yeah, this time we'll look a little bit better and we should be good to go. One thing we don't need to talk about in this race is the Masters division for over 32s, because I'm afraid none of them made it through to the finals. So the top 3, all in the second chance heats, not scoring points, but the top 3 we'll see on the podium later on. Well done to Cristiano Magado, Guillaume Berthaud and Tamsin Germain, who are top 3 Masters, but nobody making it through this far. So they're all in the main category. Right, this looks like a better start, and the 16-lap race gets underway. It's a very good start for Mads Thompson at the inside. Hanging around the outside, there is Ben Cooper. What a move! All the way around the outside into turn turn 1. Ben Cooper, terrific stuff, gets the lead of the race. Mads Thompson second, and Guillaume then in third place. Sorry, VM there in third place. So Damien VM making a good start. Looks like Sean Babington tucked into fourth. Kalesis, I think, they're in fifth place. They're making a decent start. The one that's dropped back a bit is Jonathan Tonon. He was fifth on the grid, but it looks like he's dropped a couple of places down to seventh position. Brian Eardon, I don't think made a particularly good start either. He's dropped back a little bit. And I'm just trying, I think, is that Jordan Lennox-Lamb that's already got in amongst them? No, I don't think it is. Somebody with a dark-coloured suit. Figure it out when they come through. There's going to be a change here. Just behind, though, out of the top six, a change on the way into the first turn. That was Andreas Batman making a very good move there up the inside to get ahead of Daniel Formal. Right, Daniel's... He's doing his Zenderuva. He's changed his race suit. He's got a black race suit for the final rather than a white race suit he's had all weekend. Andreas Batman picks up another place going over the start-finish line. So Andreas, the Swede, very quiet yesterday, but he's right up there when it matters today. Meanwhile, third and fourth having a terrific battle side by side. Sean Barrington trying to get through there. Damien VM, while all that was going on, snuck into second place ahead of Mads Thompson. So it's Ben Cooper at the start of the second lap. Then it's Damien VM who's got ahead of Mads Thompson. Mads was having to defend from Sean Babington through the third turn, but he stays in third place. Fourth is Babington. And then fifth, you got Andreas Batman. Coming back up the order with the blue suit in sixth place then is the multiple world champion Jonathan Tonon, the Belgian driver. And then with his new black race suit for the final, having a very good start to proceedings, it's Daniel Formal.
It looks like Harold Garcaklis from row 7 had a poor start, dropped right to the back. Already caught back up, though, with everyone in front of him. So look out for that man towards the rear. Out front, though, Ben Cooper doing a stunning job. He leads the way then from Mads Thompson, and who's now down to third place. Is Damien VM up into second place. Good scrap going on for fifth place. Dive down the inside line there. It looks like it's going to work. Daniel Formal making the move. He now says, come on, let's go. Let's follow these top four around for this next lap. And he makes the pass on that of Andreas Bachmann. So good stuff there from Daniel Formal. Sean Babington for third place down the inside at turn 5. He's got the move done. So fantastic stuff from Sean Babington. He's on the move now. The top two have broke away slightly in the battle for the lead of the race. But if Sean Babington can now get his head down, what can he do about the top two? Damien VM in second. First place for Ben Cooper. Going a little bit wide into turn number 8, but he's holding that momentum at the minute. Got about 2 car lengths over the rest of the man in second. Then Sean Babington, as we said, in third place. Fourth place now is Mads Thompson after that move. And then coming through in fifth place, looks to be the car there still of Daniel Formal. So look out for that man. Very impressive, as we've said, all weekend long.
And into the top 10 now has come Jordan Lennox-Lamb in kart 665 with the black, white and orange colour scheme. So he keeps making progress here. Kevin Ludy's up into 8th place as well. The Swiss drive having a good start to the final here. Ben Cooper leading Damien VM as they come out of turn 3 into turn 4. They are starting to be caught now by Sean Babington. So now that he's been released and Mads Thompson, he is left behind. He's coming up to the back of these lead duo, and there could be a change into turn 6 here. Damien VM at the inside, through he goes, and the Belgian driver leads here in his home country. So Damien VM through to first place. The Canadian Ben Cooper is second. The British driver Sean Babington is there in third position. The Danish driver Mads Thompson is in fourth place. And the Costa Rican American, as we see a move from Brian Eardon. Daniel Formal is fifth. Brian Eardon has just got up the inside, has he? He's got Jordan Lennox-Lamb following him through as well. They've both got past Jordi van Moorsel by the looks of things. So watch for Jordan Lennox-Lamb now coming up to the fray of the top 6. The top 3 are absolutely pushing each other up the straight here. It's Cooper from VM. Cooper's snuck back into the lead at the end of the lap. VM back down to second. Babington third. Oh, Babington's hit. Babington's hit and he spins off and out wide at turn 3. So Babington out, and a victim of all of that was the Mads Thompson, I'm afraid. Nothing to do with Mads. He was just coming up to the incident. Someone, I think, hit Sean Babington, sent him into a spin, and Mads Thompson was just in the wrong place. He clipped the back end of the spinning cart. They've both got going again. Mads is right at the back. Sean has got going again, but he's half a lap down. So really, really bad luck for Sean Babington there when he was battling for the lead of the race. Here they come then. Ben Cooper up the lead of the race. Damien VM, the French driver there in second place. I think it said Belgium earlier. It was French in second place. Oh, shoot me. He's going to go for the lead of the race as he goes over the start-finish line, is he? No, he's right into the tail of Ben Cooper, but he doesn't come through. And what a fantastic weekend it's been so far for Daniel Formal and his Euro Challenge debut. And look at that man, Tonon, the Belgian. He's back up there into fourth place. Andreas Batman in fifth position. Kevin Ludy 6th. Jordan Lennox-Lamb is now up to 7th place. And then we've got Van Moorsel 8th, Brian Eden 9th, and Kalesis into 10th place. And down into the lead of the race, down at turn 6 goes VM. So the French driver leads, but Ben Cooper gets him because he runs wide through the next turn into the hairpin. They go. VM might lose second as well to Daniel Formal, who goes through. So Cooper and Formal. VM tried a move. He's going to try another one here. He feigns up the inside. Absolutely lovely move that from VM to immediately get the place back. Sorry, it was Formal who was getting the place back. But he runs a little bit too deep into the corner. No, he holds it. So Formal back to second place. They've all had a turn in the lead here, but it's Ben Cooper that keeps getting back up front. So into the first corner they go with the race leader, Ben Cooper, who's going to be second. They're all over the curbs here. It looks like Formal drops back through turn 1, so he loses a couple of places, lost momentum going into turn 2. So VM back to second. And then into third place we got Tonon, down to 4th is Formal. But almost as soon as you finish the sentence, Matt, the order's changed again.
That's right, you can't say anything. Another lunge coming there. Andreas Bachmann under pressure from Jordan Lennox-Lamb, I think, has made a move. So he's now on his way through. Great charge from where he started on the grid and for second place as well. Jonathan Thanon is under attack. With all this going on, though, look at the race leader now. Ben Cooper on his own, down towards turn number 9. Another slight move towards the inside there, but it's not going to work at the minute. Jonathan Thanon is going to say, keep on my back, but no one's close enough to keep on his tail at the time of asking. So he goes on to the start-finish line now. We have got 7 laps to be completed as they go through. 9 still remain on the clock. Ben Cooper is still your leader. 2nd, 3rd and 4th all stay as they were. Daniel Formal now back up into 3rd place by the look of it. 4th place then for Damien VM. In fact, it's changed again because Daniel Formal's fell to the back of it. It's Jordan Lennox-Lamb who's on the charge, looking for 3rd place. He gets the move done down the inside line. So, Chris, your bet for the man to win this race couldn't be too bad at all. There's a push as well. Andreas Bachmann makes a move on Daniel Formal. He now gets himself into 5th place. Andreas has really strung this final together. He's working well, come through the heats, and he's pushing on now. 5th place. Can he get any higher? We'll keep an eye on that one for the time being. For the lead, however, Ben Cooper being chased very hard now by a charging Jonathan Thanon.
Yeah, it's all going on around him, but he keeps just creeping back into the lead of the race, doesn't he? So you've got world champions 1st and 2nd here in this race. Ben Cooper, Jonathan Thanon, then the French driver Damien VM. So we're going to have a Canadian, a Belgian, or a French driver, or a British driver. Of course, we've got Jordan Lennox-Lamb now into 3rd place in the mix as well, with that move halfway around the previous lap with VM. The French driver down to 4th place. Andreas Bachmann in 5th position. Jordi Van Moorsel is in 6th place. Formal 7th. Ludi is 8th. Eden is 9th. Kalesis is 10th. Not a great deal of progress for Xinderuva. He's only up to 17th. Well, it is a lot of progress. He's up to 17th. He was almost at the back of the field, but I think he might now start to fly through as he catches the next train of carts. So watch for the man in the all-white suit, Xinderuva. I think he's now going to start to make real progress in the second half of this race. We are at half race distance, 8 laps to go. And here come the leaders into the final turn. And the lead quartet has a little bit of breathing space over everybody else, but it's not a lot. Only a few tenths back to 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th are all absolutely line astern there. Xinderuva going over the line now. Has he picked up any more places on this lap? No, he's 17th, but he's getting onto the back of a train of carts now. Barry Pullinger 16th, and Anthony Abbas, the French driver, going well here. He came from the second chance heats as well, and he's up to 14th place. He's just made a move, as we see in 2nd place here. Tonon gesticulating to Lennox-Lamb, follow me. VM, you follow me as well. Let's stop battling for a lap, and let's try and catch the leader. And he's right to do that, because otherwise Ben Cooper's going to be gone shortly, isn't he?
Yep, and someone else who's found himself at the head of a train, Jordi Van Moorsel from row number 6 on the grid. He's now up into 5th place, so great charge through the field from Jordi. He's now got Andreas Bachmann on his tail, along with the cart there of 608, which comes through down to the final corner. So on towards another lap they now go, and that being Kevin Ludi, of course, in the all-white cart, the grey suit on board with him. Ben Cooper's gap has been brought down slowly. A change for 2nd as well, because down the inside goes Jordan Lennox-Lamb. He's now 1 higher once more. So this pre-final that he had earlier, where he was up in 1st and 2nd place many times, he's now back where he should be for this weekend. Again, the hand comes out of the cart. He says, come on, Jonathan, we're going together now. Let's try and catch Ben Cooper. And it's not out of the question. Last time through, the top 2 separated by 0.4 of a second. But another man who looks very racy to try and get 3rd place away, Damien VM, sitting there at the minute. Still 5th place then for Jordi Van Moorsel. 6th place for that of Andreas Bachmann. And 7th place is the cart of Kevin Ludi. Keep an eye as well, as Chris said, for Xinderuva, and also the the recovering Sean Babington. Not quite on the tail of the train yet, but I think it could be done for him. He'll still go for points, though.
Yeah, don't forget Jordi van Moorsel, who's there in 5th place, was one of the two that had a spin on the formation lap when the rain came down. The other one being Sean Babington, who then, I'm pretty sure, got hit. That's what caused his spin through into turn 2. So here are the top 4. Ben Cooper now, his gap has gone. Jordan Lennox-Lamb from 13th on the grid has risen all the way up to 2nd place now. The blue suit in 3rd position. You can see Tonon right there with them, VM as well. And now, as they go down the back straight down towards turn 6, this is the chance. They're 3 abreast. Jordan Lennox-Lamb through. Tonon goes through. Cooper has to concede both positions, and 3rd he goes. So Jordan Lennox-Lamb got the better run going onto the straight, and immediately got his foot in the door, drew alongside Ben Cooper, and quick thinking from Nicola Tonon, who just followed him through. He has a little feint down the inside on the way into the right-hander at turn 9. That was a bit too close, that would have been. Jordan Lennox-Lamb's already had dramas there today. He leaves the door slightly open on the way into the last turn, the new race leader, and Tonon again has a think about it. But Jordan comes across at the last second. Follow me, he says, but, well, they're not wanting to do that. They're going to want to beat him and race him now. So we have got, what, 4 laps to go in the race. Jordan Lennox-Lamb leads, but breathing down his neck are Tonon, Cooper and VM. Then we've got Jordi van Moorsel in 5th. Kevin Ludi has just moved up to 6th. Daniel Formal has just moved up to 7th. Brian Earden 8th. Kalesis 9th. Andres Batman is the one who's fell down on that lap, down to 10th place, with the likes of Mads Thompson and Sean Babington now at the back of the field after earlier incidents.
Can be assured this will be a 9-train battle for the lead very shortly. There's more and more now starting to join. Jordi van Moorsel and Kevin Ludi have now attached themselves to the back of the 4 cars for the lead of this race, but it is still the man who comes through the right-hander and in towards the left now, Jordan Lennox-Lamb. He leads from Jonathan Thonon. 3rd place then for kart 660, which is Damien VM, and 4th place for the ever-charging reigning champion Ben Cooper. Up towards the line he comes. Another brief look over the right shoulder for Ben Cooper as they head down towards turn number 1. What's Thonon going to do? Not much at the minute. He's still sitting brief, sitting happy, see what he can do and see if he can put Jordan Lennox-Lamb under any pressure whatsoever. On towards number 4 they now go, in towards the hairpin then at turn number 5, and look at them all bunching up. They slam on the brakes, get the gears down as always, and again Jonathan Thonon to the inside at turn number 6. He gets the lead, and also Damien VM goes through, not quite. He tried his best there to keep the door open on Lennox-Lamb, but he had it shut firmly in his face, so it's not going to happen at turn 8 either, because he's still holding the battle very nicely indeed. So Jonathan Thonon for the first time has charged to the head of this field. 2nd place then for Jordan Lennox-Lamb. Possible change for 3rd there. I think Damien VM has just about held on from Ben Cooper as I head to the final corner. Very defensive goes Damien VM. Ben Cooper tries to get the cut back, and Jordi van Moorsel comes into the mix, goes up to 3rd. Kevin Ludi follows through as well into 4th place, and none of them are very happy whatsoever as they head down towards turn number 1. The top 2 now broken away, fighting back, and contact. A spin there for Jordi van Moorsel. He got hit there by the likes of Damien VM. Damien continues, more contact at turn 1 as well.
All right, so, before that, a warning not to do with that incident, but from something previously for Jonathan Tonon. It's down to these two now, isn't it? They're all on their own. Jonathan Tonon, is a Belgian going to win in Belgium? Can he win his home race, or can Jordan Lennox-Lamb do it? Opposite the pre-final, Jordan Lennox-Lamb was the leader, not with this driver behind him, but he led most of the race, and he was the one who had to defend on the last couple of laps. Well, this time, Jordan's in the position where he's the one who can try and attack the leader. There they go, 2 of them, well clear of everybody else now. Poor old Jordi van Moorsel with really bad luck there. Jordi van Moorsel, he got clattered as he tried to get restarted as well. And yeah, 1 or 2 others like Kevin Ludi picking up the pieces, aren't they, in this race as we go to the final lap of the race. There go the top 2. And Jonathan Tonon has got no breathing space whatsoever. Jordan Lennox-Lamb is right there with him. In 3rd is VM. In 4th is Cooper. But the gap's opening up. Brian Earden and Kalesis are 5th and 6th. Formal is the next one up. But let's keep an eye on the leaders. Here he comes. Jordan Lennox-Lamb getting a better run down towards turn 6 at the end of the straight. He's going for the lead of the race. And he goes through. But is he going to keep it on the way out? Just about getting it back onto the line through the chicane. He's hanging on to it up to the hairpin though. And he'll be thinking, I'm sure, back to the pre-final. He's got less than half a lap to go. He leads the race, and Tonon is right there with him, Matt.
Yeah, he certainly is. There's going to be one more chance down towards the final corner. At the minute, Jordan Lennox-Lamb holds it. Jonathan Thanon continues to push, though, in towards the last turn for the last time. Jonathan Thanon tries to get the car back. It's not quite going to work. It's going to be a drag to the line, outside line for Thanon, and it's just going to be Jordan Lennox-Lamb who takes the first win of the year in the Rotax Euro Max Challenge in DD2. And Jordan Lennox-Lamb, just to be sure, edges Jonathan Thanon right towards the edge of the grass.
Yeah, I didn't see him because Jonathan Thanon basically was trying to go on the grass to get around him because like you said, got a better run out of the last corner, Jonathan Thanon, and he was trying to go around the outside, and by 18 thousandths of a second, 0.018 seconds, Jordan Lennox-Lamb wins the race. And that might be the first time in history, Matt, that I've predicted a winner correctly of a race. So I wish I put some money on it now. Jordan Lennox-Lamb is the winner. Yes, there was a bit of contact. There was nothing malicious about it at all, though, before we start worrying about stewards and things like that, because Jonathan was just trying his best to draw alongside, and then as they crossed the line, just after they crossed the line, punching the air was Jordan Lennox-Lamb. He didn't realise that Jonathan was right there alongside him, so it was a tiny bit of contact, but it's fine. Lamb and Tonon and Damien VM, the top three. Then the British driver wins. The Belgian driver so close to winning on his Euro Challenge debut in DD2, and so close to making it a home victory for Belgium. Damien VM coming home in a fine third place. Best I've seen Damien racing. And Ben Cooper led for the first half of the race, really, but in the end, just dropping back to fourth position. Fifth place to Brian Eden, who's had an absolutely fantastic weekend, the Dutch driver, as has Philippos Kalesis, the Greek driver. Excellent today. Daniel Formel, this new black race suit for the final, just to confuse me, in seventh place, has had a terrific weekend as well. I think we'll see a lot more of Daniel Formel. He's driven really well this weekend. Andres Batman had a really good final. It was higher up than eighth, which is where he finished at one point, but be fairly satisfied. I think he's had a pretty good day today after not such a good day yesterday. Josh Collings, another British driver in the top 10 in ninth place. Anthony Abbas, I think, will be pretty pleased with 10th place as well, given that he started the morning not necessarily knowing if he was going to be here, because he hadn't automatically qualified for the final and had to come via the back route, via the second chance heats, as did Barry Pullinger, who finished a fairly solid 14th a bit further back. So Abbas in 10th, Michael Christensen in 11th place, Marcel Schirmer 12th. Kevin Ludi must have dropped back on that last lap, because Kevin had got himself up into the top 6 at one point, but Kevin dropped back at the end of the race for a reason that I didn't see, down to 13th. Pullinger 14th, Maxi Fleischmann 15th, Matthias de Tige 16th. Be a bit disappointed with that. Showed turns of speed again in the heats yesterday, but it hasn't quite worked for him today, a bit like last year. Jordi van Moorsel, very, very unlucky to be down in 17th place after he was hit. French Canchar was there in 18th place. And then we'll see the rest of the results. Oriol Damo Caballero, difficult weekend for the Spaniard, but he picks up some points. Likewise for Henry Easthope there, who rounded out the top 20. And then you can see Mads Thompson, I'm afraid, dropped down to finish in 24th place after the incident early on in the race. Really desperately disappointing start to the campaign for Mika Laiho, the winner of this event last year, down, I'm afraid, in 25th place. And of course, Sean Babington and Zen Deruva. I don't see what happened to Zen, but he got to the middle of the field at one point, but only finished down in 31st place. Right, Matt is down there to speak to some of the drivers from that race, and hopefully we'll be able to hear from our race winner. Over to you, Matt.
Yeah, thanks very much, Chris. We've got our top three down here then in the Parc Ferme area. Three happy drivers, I have to say, which is always great to see. Let's get a quick word first off with Jordan Lennox-Lamb. Jordan, fantastic race. You had a bit of trouble in pre-final, but that was a cracking drive through the field. What a win.
Yeah, no, it was good. The formation laps, I was kind of expecting it to be a lot wetter than what it was in the end. But no, it went really well. It was good racing with all the boys. It was fair, it was clean. I think we showed a lot of the younger drivers here how the racing should be and not just pushing and shoving.
And about 14 laps of that race, there was about 6 or 7 cars all together at one time. Right towards the end, though, you and Jonathan broke away.
Yeah, we got quite lucky. I think we both saw each other, give each other the signal to go, and just gave us that space from the others to do our own race at the end, so it worked out well.
A good weekend overall for you, good start to the season, first round of the year, gives you maximum points pretty much.
Yeah, I mean the pre-final points would have been good as well, but no, it's good, happy with that.
You now move on to the next round, you're going to continue this for the rest of the year?
Yeah, definitely we'll be doing all of it.
Great stuff, well done Jordan on a victory, great drive there. Jonathan Thanon, a great drive from yourself there, carved your way through the field, you must be a happy man as well.
Yeah, I'm very happy about this weekend because finish second, it's possible to win, so You know, this weekend was very hard because only one engine for me, because the first one was broke in the qualification and you have some problem with the second one, so you need to put more in the carburetor. I think we missed something there. Let's see. I'm not sure to be part of the second round. Normally it was just one race for me here at Genk, at home.
But Genk's a fantastic circuit. It gives plenty of opportunities for overtaking, but at the same time, you have to attack and defend at the same time at most corners.
Yeah. You have seen the final, I think, very good level. Also the driver think about the race. No crash, go on the front in two driver. That's a very nice race. I think for all spectators, it's very nice to see.
And right towards the end there, you got on the back of Jordan, but the final corner, you tried your best. You were nearly alongside him across the line, but a little bit more power, a little bit more of a straight. You could have done it.
Yeah. I see the chassis was very good. Just I tell you some problem with the engine because it's old engine. You make all the week, and for sure on the bottom you lose some power. For me, for sure, when I trained Wednesday, the first day, the engine was much better than this. It's the same engine, so it's just too old. And let's see, no problem. I'm happy about this podium, and it was a very good race.
Despite the problems, you've done very well. Jonathan, congratulations.
Thank you.
There you go then, second place man, Jonathan Thanon, and we'll just quickly grab a quick word if we can with Damien VM. Damien, you're right for a quick chat. A great drive to third there.
Yeah, this is a nice race. Now I speak in French because je veux seulement remercier Flandria Kart, Im Racing et tous ceux qui me soutiennent. Voilà, je suis super content. Merci à tout le monde. Une petite pensée pour Gilou et voilà, merci.
Hopefully our French listeners got that. Well done to Damien Venn then on the third place spot on the podium. Second place was the way of Jonathan Thanon, but race victory goes the way of Jordan Lennox Lamb. Fantastic way to start the finals. DD2 have delivered once again. Next on track though is going to be time for the juniors and back upstairs to Chris Hartley.